Phyllis, Hazelwood Homestead. I just wanted to stop by and say hi. Wanted you to join in with me today. I have something that I want to go over with you. What it is a little piece of paper that you can keep in your purse or in your car, in the glove box, or both places. What it is medical information about yourself. Uh, I'm here in Hazelwood, Hazelwood Land, Hazelwood Homestead. Want you all to know that I was a registered nurse for many years. I've worked in the emergency room, and one of the things about going to an emergency room sometimes, especially if it's a fast, acute situation where you are um, not at yourself, you're very sick, or you can't answer a lot of questions, and maybe your family doesn't know things about you, or they don't know the medicines you're taking. It's good to have this little sheet. It's just a little piece of notebook paper. You can print it off on your computer if you want to and laminate it. That would be a good idea. Keep it in your wallet if it's a short list. Keep it in your purse. Keep it in your glove box. In the description box, I'm going to put the pertinent things that you would want to fill out, just like a list of your medicines, what they are, and take your bottle and spell out the word. Some of these medicines I can't even spell. So be sure and write the correct medication, the correct dose, and how you take it. Do you take it once a day or you take it 3 times a day? List all your medications. List your allergies. It's critical to know. It's critical for your nurses and your doctors to know what you are allergic to so that you do not receive that. If you know your blood type, put your blood type down. If you've ever given blood, they've told you what your blood type was. It's not crucial that that be on there. They can draw blood and get your blood type should you need blood. Sometimes they do want to know your religion if you are admitted to the hospital, so you can put that on there. They will want to know if you are a full code or a do not resuscitate. You can have the social worker stop by if when you get at yourself, and you can make those type of decisions. You will need to put your date of birth, your name, your phone number. You will need to put your significant other's phone number and name. Also, if you have someone who you have down as an emergency contact, please put their name and put their phone number there also so that they can be notified that you have arrived at the hospital. You will, on your medications, if you're taking any vitamins, or let's say you're taking anything over the counter routinely, like maybe you take a Benadryl every night to go to sleep, please list those also, not just what your doctor has given you, but also anything over the counter that you take routinely. Um, just get all those medicines listed. And you will want to write your medical diagnosis. Maybe you don't know everything that you have going on. None of us do. We don't really know what's going on with us. But if you've had a medical diagnosis of, let's say, you have COPD, write that on there. Maybe you have asthma. All of those type of things, write those down. Maybe you have frequent indigestion. Please write all that down. It's very necessary for everybody to know what's going on with you. Um, Also, put your address on there, what town you're from, where you live. You will also need insurance. Put your insurance down. You don't need to remember the numbers and all that. Just put the type of insurance you've got. Probably your emergency contact will know all of that information. If you've had any surgeries in the past, please write those down. Last year I had a bypass surgery. I had 2 arterial bypass grafts. I had 90% of my widowmaker, 90% blockage of my widowmaker, and another artery was 90% blocked. So I had surgery last year, so of course I have that listed on my paper that I'll put in my purse. I've got that down. I've got my doctor, my cardiologist, I've got his name down. I've got my primary care doctor that I go to if I have a cough or a cold. I've got his name listed there also. If you see a specialist for other things like arthritis, those type things, diabetes. Put those doctors down there also, please, with their phone number if you have it available. Um, it's important for if you're in a car wreck or in a bad situation, and I hope that you never are, but when you get in a tight bind, it's good to have all this on paper so that you're not trying to remember everything when you have been injured, or maybe you're in a wreck and you hit your head, and maybe you're having a little difficulty thinking at that moment and you're a little shook up. It's just nice to have this available. You can just hand it off. I will tell you that after I had my open heart surgery, I had my surgery on Wednesday. I came home the following Saturday, and the next Tuesday I got very short of breath. I called my daughter, Hope, who lives down the road from me, and I said, Hope, I can't breathe, and she came down here. My oxygen saturation was in the 70s. It should be at least in the 90s. And so she called and got me an appointment, and we headed 60 miles to the closest cardiology center where I had had my open heart surgery. I kind of live out in a rural area. So anyway, while we were driving, they called and said, go on by the imaging center and get a CAT scan of your lungs before you come on in to the appointment, which we did. And as I was over there, I was short of breath, and they gave me oxygen at the imaging center. They did tell me after they looked at the report that I was going to have to be admitted back to the hospital, direct admit, because I had a blood clot in my right lung and a blood clot in my left lung. As a registered nurse, I knew immediately that that can be very dangerous. I was pretty taken back by that information, to say the least, after just having this bypass done. So I had in my purse all of this information in that little plastic holder. So when I got up on the floor and the nurse came in, and they were trying to start an IV on me so that they could give me a blood thinner IV to help with these clots, and they were sticking me on both sides trying to get an IV, and she needed to ask me all these questions. I said, look, if you'll go over there and look in my purse, I've got a little plastic thing that's got all my information on here. And she said, oh great, you don't care for me looking in your purse? I said, not at all. So she got this out and she took it with her, and about an hour later she brought it back to me, and she said, well, there was only one thing you didn't have on your list. And I said, oh, what was it? And she said, well, I didn't know whether or not you had dentures or not. I said, no, these are not dentures, these are my own teeth. So it's very important that you do put that down, whether you have dentures or not. And be sure and put your allergies, because you do not want to get something you're allergic to. I'm going to list this in the description box, everything that I wrote down, not my private information, you know what I mean, the subjects that you'll need to write, like your surgeries and your insurance. I'm going to list that in the description box. Please don't try to remember everything that you will need. I think you all are smart enough to know, if you've been to the hospital before, you know what they're going to ask you. You know those questions they want to know. And when you're going into a hospital setting, sometimes it's very hectic, especially if it's an emergency, that you can't remember everything. So just keep it on paper, keep one in your purse, and also if you want to put one in your glove box. I want you all to know that I really appreciate you stopping by and visiting with me on my porch today. I wish you were sitting out here, we could have a cup of coffee or iced tea together. I do want you to know that today is Thursday. Next, a week from today, I'm going to be leaving and going on an anniversary trip with my daughter and her husband. It's their 22nd wedding anniversary, Hope, the one I was talking about earlier. She's been married 22 years. They're going to go on a trip, and they've invited me and my husband, which he declined, and I'll tell you why in a minute, to go with them on their anniversary trip. My son-in-law also invited his parents to go on the trip with them. And where we are going to Alaska. We are going on an Alaskan cruise. And that is the reason that my husband declined. He says that he just doesn't like the idea of getting on a ship. And I totally understand that. I did not do that until 2 years ago. I had never been on a ship until 2 years ago, and I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. So when she asked me this time, months and months ago, she asked me if me and her daddy would go with her, and I said, well, you know I'll go, but I doubt your daddy will because he just doesn't like that idea of being out on a ship. And of course he declined. He said he would love to be with us, but he had to decline this time. So I will be going on the ship. Now, I'm not telling you that to boast and to brag about it at all. I'm telling you that when I get to Alaska, I have wanted to go since 2007 is when I first thought I want to go to Alaska. So now that I've got the opportunity, I'm going to go, and I'm going to video as much of the scenery that I can film so that I can bring that back and I can put that up, and hopefully you guys can watch that and you can see Alaska. Um, I've never really thought that I would ever get the chance to go, so I'm just super overjoyed about it, that I'm going to get to go, and I'm looking forward to it so much that I wish I could take every one of y'all with me, but I can through this camera, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you the ship. Hopefully I can show you some of the wildlife, some of the glaciers. I just want to share it with you from my heart to yours. I'm not trying to be fancy or big about going. A girl at work back in 2007 went, and she brought some pictures that she had taken while she was on her trip. Not on her phone, but we used to take pictures back then on paper. I know you don't know about that. Some of you do. So her pictures were on paper, and she brought those pictures and shared them with us at work. And I'll tell you what, when I saw those pictures, I thought, I'm going to have to go to Alaska. That looks like the most incredible place. So I want you all to come along with me on the trip. I want to find out what you're doing. And like I said today, I'm not doing it to brag about a trip. I know there's people that are sick. I know there's some of you who are not able to travel. And I understand that. Being a nurse, I know people are sometimes not able to even go to church, or much less go to Alaska. So I want to bring that into your living room if I can. If you are sick today, I want to pray for you. So leave me something in the comment box about what's going on in your life. I want us to do this together. I want us to spend time together. I'm retired, and I have the time to be with you guys and to pray for you for things you're going through. Maybe it's not a health issue. Maybe it's something else. Maybe something else is going on in your life. Maybe it's finances. There's just all kind of things that we go through here on earth. So I appreciate you stopping by, and I will be talking to you soon. And I love you guys so much, and thank you for joining in on my channel. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to do your little helpful thing in case you need it and you can't come up with all this information. Just condense it into one sheet or two if you can. Thank y'all.